Now, David knows he's playing against an amateur, and a bet this size on the river definitely reps strength.
Guess we can't call the clock on him, can we?
Williams folds.
She gave me a big hand. I misplayed it probably. Didn't re-raise him pre-flop.
Turns out hindsight is 10-10.
It is in this hand. Well, if you want to be like Will Davis and appear on the big game and be a loose cannon, simply log on to PokerStars.net. There are free qualifying tournaments every day. We're back with more after this. Welcome back to the big game in Las Vegas, Nevada. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I am Chris Rose. Action begins this hand with Abe Mosseri, who folds. Jason Calacanis, itty-bitty pocket pair, raises to 1,200. Negreanu folds. Pair of ladies for Doyle Brunson.
Pocket queen's definitely a re-raising hand. See if Doyle goes for it.
Raise the pot.
He does to 4,800. And he gets an evil stare from Calacanis. Williams folds. Pocket jacks for the loose cannon.
Two very big hands here. Could see a lot of money going to the pot.
A tough spot for our loose cannon. Let's see how he plays it.
How much to call?
4,800, so 4,400 more.
The first big decision for Will Davis. Getting the stare down from Doyle. Re-raise to 14,800.
Well, looks like a raise.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Calacanis folds.
10,000 more?
Those are the two guys I would not want to get into it with.
Will's supposed to be the amateur. He's certainly not playing scared. Might be his undoing. Decides he wants to go toe-to-toe with Doyle Brunson. Re-raising with jacks, not always recommended. When you get action, usually you're racing at best.
I'm all in.
Here's re-raising pot.
Once again, it is pot limit
cool.
pre-flop.
Close enough anyway.
So Doyle can only raise to 46,400.
Will's looking a little sick right now.
Can he get away from this?
I have no idea what's going on here.
That didn't take long.
Yeah, for real.
This would be a devastating pot for the table to lose to you, by the way.
Now, Doyle wasn't able to move all in the way he wanted to, but this fifth bet should be a big indication to Will as to what kind of shape he's in.
You're like the one guy I didn't want to get involved in a pot with. This hurts.
That's why you decided to re-raise him 10,000 more.
You're supposed to fold.
He's supposed to fold, that's all.
Well, Will, 5-bet says you're supposed to fold.
I never like to let my children drown.
Doyle's referring to the chips he's already got in the pot. To my knowledge, both Pam and Todd Brunson are capable swimmers.
Okay, nice hand, Doyle.
Will's hand is sunk, and it might have saved him an awful lot of dough.
That was some power poker, a 60K pot without a flop.
Will Davis doesn't look all that happy, but the loose cannon dodged a huge bullet there, so he lives to fight again and keeps his dream of busting kid poker alive.
I'm Will Davis, and I'm on the big game. Now, never in my wildest dreams did I think I would have a chance to sit at a table with Doyle Brunson, Daniel Negreanu.
Your wife doesn't like me very much?
I guess Daniel just really rubs my wife the wrong way. She told me before I came out here, you had better bust Daniel Negreanu. She just doesn't like his table talk, I guess.
I talk too much? Okay, well, I'm guilty then. Guilty as charged.
We got married March 28th, a year ago, and I lost for 2 weeks straight at the poker tables. And I took the ring off and I started winning, so I never wear the ring when I play. We lost it mysteriously right before we came out here, and I know she had something to do with it. And maybe it's good luck. She doesn't want it anywhere near the game. She is my biggest fan, and a lot of times we'll take walks together, and I'll just tell her about hands. And she's a great listener and a great sounding board, and she's fully supportive of it. We haven't had the money to take the honeymoon. If I could win it, I would love to give her the honeymoon that she deserves.
Well, I guess it's probably better than Daniel rubbing his wife the right way.
Well, the action will begin on Mrs. Davis's favorite player, Daniel Negreanu. Ace-Jack offsuit. Raises to 1,500. Doyle Brunson, pocket queens.
Queens again.
He's also had kings. Doyle makes the call.
Just call's going to mix it up a little this time.
Oops, sorry.
Action folds around to Jason Calacanis, who folds as well. So it's just Daniel and Doyle, king 7-8. Pair of spades on the flop. Negreanu checks.
Doyle seems confident in his hand. Doesn't think Daniel would check a king to him.
Doyle bets 3,300. Daniel folds.
You're doing a good job here, by the way.
I give a little credit to the dealer.
So far in 10 hands, Doyle has had pocket queens twice and kings once.
I would have won a tournament by now if it's in the final table.
Me too.
What'd you have that first hand?
Flush.
Really?
Really?
I believe you. Looked like you had.
Can't lie.
It looked like you had something. I mean, you just fired. But I know it's Abe bet Mosseri.
Abe just beat me to an honest Abe reference.
So you're not going to play a lot of tournaments, World Series? No. Cash games?
I'd like
There
to.
might not
I
be
mean,
any. Seems like
I mean, the only
everyone's
reason
playing
I played the other tournament last year that I won is because there was no cash game. That's it.
Abe's talking about the deuce to 7 bracelet he won in 09.
Another pocket pair for Doyle Brunson. Raising to 1,200 with his sevens. Action folds on over to the loose cannon, Will Davis.
Yeah, he says, I don't want to get in a pot with Doyle.
I haven't learned.
Re-raises to 4,300.
This is a very aggressive play with Queen Jack, even in position.
Now back on over to Doyle, who makes the call. So these two will tango yet again.
Wait a second, I've seen this movie.
The flop, Queen Tray 10, top pair for Davis. Check by Brunson. Check by Davis.
Will re-raise pretty light pre-flop. Now he's checking top pair.
8 of diamonds on the turn.
Could be that he didn't want to be check raised by Doyle.
Doyle's checked on over to Will Davis. Bets 5,300.
Will's got an inside straight draw now to go with his pair of queens. 3 overcards out there. Doyle's 7s aren't looking so hot.
Yeah, I better let you go this time.
Doyle folds. Davis wins a pot of more than 15K.
Are you winning or losing? You're pretty close. You won a couple, you lost
Gambling, we know that.
one. Yeah.
You're gonna play. When are you gonna get in a pot? Let's go. Let's mix it up.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh, our loose cannon poking the Canadian bear. See if Daniel wakes up when we come back. Welcome back to the big game where Daniel Negreanu has been targeted by our loose cannon. I guess you could call this a moving target.
Even though Will Davis is down a little bit, those are not tournament chips, folks. He's still got 89 grand in cold hard cash to come after Kid Poker.
But remember, he only keeps what he wins over 100 grand.
What's going on with the loose cannon? He's dying to bust you.
He's dying to bust me, and he's talking about how he's trying to stay out of Doyle's way, and he keeps re-raising Doyle. That's not usually smart, because Doyle, when he's in there, he's got something. Me, I'm kind of crazy.
Doyle's good. He's running over the table.
Doyle's, I think Doyle's getting cards. Every time Doyle's on TV, he talks about how he's unlucky and blah, 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 but he's always got big hands. This loose cannon guy, though, I don't know. He's like, we were all shocked that he's like re-raising and gambling. We thought he'd wait a little bit, but, he's pretty tough.
Okay, I think they're waiting on you.
Okay, see ya.
Now, Chris, I know Will isn't playing with his own money, but I can't recommend purposely antagonizing Daniel Negreanu. If he's going to poke the bear, he has to remember he's not at the zoo. He's on safari, and if provoked, the animals will bite back.
Will Davis does dream of being a big-time poker pro, and one of those sharks out there, much like David Williams, and the action will start on him. 10-6 suited. Gets rid of it. Davis folds. Action folds over to the 39-year-old internet entrepreneur.
A walk.
Yeah, he'll get a walk.
With Daniel on my right.
Jason raises to 1,200. King deuce suited.
Hang on a minute. Okay, I'll do a little math in my head here. You made it 12, right? Okay, I'm going to put more in.
Daniel's settling in to win some of that Silicon Valley money.
6, just go 4 yellow.
Raise to 4,000.
Daniel straight up playing the man here.
Another pair for Doyle Brunson, albeit a small one.
Not so quick to call. Maybe he doesn't want to get stuck between a whale and a hard place. I did just call Daniel a hard place.
Doyle folds.
Haha, caught him again.
Calacanis folds.
Nyeh.
Daniel shows that deuce of diamonds.
That's a setup.
I had a mountain after I saw that.
I probably would have folded if he folded.
After you saw the deuce, huh?
If he would have folded, I probably just would have folded. Let Doyle had a walk.
You'd have played a pot if you'd have hung on.
If I would have, what, played against you? Nah, I didn't have anything.
I saw you didn't.
Bluffing.
The deuce of diamonds.
Yeah. Every time I get it today, I'm going to re-raise with it.
The deuce of diamonds. That specific one?
Quick side note, Calacanis showed up to play today with an iPad loaded with every hand any of his opponents have ever played on television.
Yeah.
So he's got a full scouting report on the rest of the table.
Yeah, it pays to have an assistant.